So I was recently watching some old SNES drunk videos and I found one on a game called Nightmare Busters, which you're seeing me play here. And it was an unreleased game that was originally developed back in the day for the Super Nintendo. Obviously it said unreleased, didn't come out, and it was later on in the 2000s finished. ROM was put up and they even made carts of it. So I went and found myself a cartridge of the game. And how could I not love this? I mean, look at it. It's clearly Alice in Wonderland. You're playing as the Mad Hatter, flinging playing cards around, and just look at the Stage 2 boss. How could it not be Alice in Wonderland? Except it's not based on Alice in Wonderland. What's actually going on is this evil being Tyrant is invading the dreams of children to turn them into nightmares. So these twin leprechauns, Flynn and Floyd, now have to fight the forces of Tyrant and save the children's dreams. So let's take a moment to pontificate upon what I just told you, as well as the visuals you've seen. You have a game where the main character is a short guy of Irish descent. His name, or possibly nickname, begins with the letter F. He has an obsession with dreams and dreaming. He lives in a world of eternal night that is also clearly inspired from Alice in Wonderland. He likes to wear suits even though they're not even appropriate for the situation he's in, and his favorite color appears to be purple. In fact, he even tops said suit off with a kind of goofy purple hat. I don't know about you, but I instantly like this game. Or at least the main character's design. Of course, how could I not? Because it's me! Can you believe this? They made a game about me. Well, except I would have been a kid then, so I guess it's not, but it is. Okay, it's completely coincidental, but let's be honest. They made a game about me. So if you ever want to play a game where you get to play as me as the protagonist, Nightmare Busters is your game. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you on it. This game is hard. The closest thing I can compare it to is something like Ghosts and Goblins on the original Nintendo. 2 hits and you're dead. It's that sort of a game. Luckily you don't get hit and then end up running around in your underwear. Though that would be hilarious. But 2 hits, you're dead, that's it. Now, there seems to be plenty of potions around, or chests you can open up, the potions drop out to get that extra hit point back. But there is so much crap on the screen that getting those potions can be a problem. I mean, this is one of those games where if you duck, you die. If you jump, you die. If you stand still, you die. If you do anything, you die. So you've got stuff flying at you from every possible direction in this game, and no matter what you do, you're going to get hit. And I don't know if you notice this, but look sort of in the center of the screen. Yeah, there it is. There's a timer. You remember that episode of Trigun where Chapel the Evergreen says that life is an incessant series of problems, all brutally difficult with limited choices, and there's a time limit? Yeah, he was referring to Nightmare Busters, not life in general. The best strategy I've come up with for this game is to constantly be moving forward. And it is a run and gun type game, so that makes sense. But here's the thing. When you shoot, Flynn actually stops in his tracks. So even though it's a run and gun, you don't really run and gun. That, combined with the fact that this is a serious button masher. Now, I play a lot of games like this, and it usually doesn't bother me, but this is one, if you have the option of using a turbo controller, I would highly suggest it, because you're going to need that little bit of extra oomph to get through this. I mean, look at this part at the beginning of Stage 3. There's just crap coming at you from the top. There's crap coming from you at the bottom. If you're not fast enough, you are going to die. I have lost so many of my lives and continues to this one little section of the game. It is ridiculous. This is one of the hardest, craziest levels I've ever played in a video game in my life. That said, well, remember what I said the other day in my Go-Go Beckham review, that it isn't about whether the game's too hard or too easy, it's about are you having fun? Well, this definitely falls under that too hard category. I mean, I'm playing it on easy, and the first I've made it is the 4th level, and that gets pretty crazy in and of itself, but I'm having a blast. I cannot get enough of this game. It handles so well. And you've got a variety of attacks. You've got this dash attack. Now, you can only use this a handful of times and it has to charge up, but it works great for getting yourself out of some tight situations. Not to mention there's plenty of power-ups. One of my favorites has you shooting both forward and backwards, because with crap coming at you from every direction, that is a huge, huge advantage. You have various magic spells like sort of this mushroom cloud explosion or tornadoes or this big cutter. But I gotta warn you, these things make the screen flash like crazy. So any of my fellow epilepsy guys, you're gonna hit the button to do a spell, you better close your eyes. And that's something else. The Stage 3 boss, oh man, the scrolling background on there almost gave me a seizure as well. So I do want to put it out there that there is a bit of a seizure warning. I won't even show that boss fight because that background was so crazy. In fact, what I ended up doing was having to use the magic to defeat that guy. And this is one of those bosses that you can only hit when he's in a certain position, that being with his cloak open. But with that background and constantly making the game flash, that was a fight I had to do fast, and I could not do it fast enough. And let's take a moment to talk about the music in this game. It's okay. Seriously, the last few games I've played, aside from X-Men, which was terrible, I've said the music was okay. And this is no different. It really sets the tone, but there's not a whole lot. There's like a boss theme and a level theme. That's pretty much it. It's pretty cool, but it can get repetitive. But hey, we've already decided that this is a game about me, so I'm going to go ahead and fix the whole little soundtrack problem for you right now. Overall, Nightmare Busters is a fantastic game, and if you like these hard games like Ghosts and Goblins or Contra, this is your game. Now you see here I've got it on a cart, and getting this loose cart cost me about 30 bucks. So, same as the last game we talked about, except this was actually worth it. Now, the game, last I knew, was out of print though. This might be some sort of a reproduction of the reproduction, because the ROM is out online. You could just go ahead and emulate it. That's probably your best bet. But when the company released this a few years ago, they had box complete copies with manuals. There are a couple of those on eBay, but they are too rich for my blood, as they like to say. Man, you're talking $200-300 bucks, but I paid like 30 for this one, which worth every penny. And like I said, it is hard. I haven't even scratched the surface of this one. I've only been playing it a few days, but I'm having a blast. You think I'm going to beat it? Who knows? But I don't care, because again, I'm just having too much fun, and also it's a game about me. How could I not love it? So if you can find a copy of Nightmare Busters for the Super Nintendo, be it on a cart like I have, or find a nice emulation of it, I say go for it. If you hadn't heard of this one, it's one you definitely need to check out if this is your type of a thing. If you want to know more about the history of the game, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there that go into more depth about it. Here, we're just talking about the game itself, and this game is friggin' awesome. Don't waste any more time. End the video now so you can go find a copy and play Nightmare Busters.